Noah, it's been a few months since we've last seen you. The last time we saw you, you did list off Pia Zadora's IMDb for the third year in a row.
Of course, as is expected.
But I did see you back in May when you came to Ontario, which was
true.
a lovely time. You were part of my wedding, and we had the plan to do an episode on wedding movies. Noah, do you remember this? We're going to do a first ever live episode.
I do remember this.
And I'd love for you to tell our dedicated listeners right now why this episode did not happen.
Well, it wasn't just me. All right.
No,
so
I want you to
but
you are 70% of the responsibility for why this episode didn't happen.
We all picked our movies. And so I can't even remember which one did I pick. Oh, I picked Ready or Not.
Ready or Not, Emma Stone.
Yeah. No, not Emma Stone, but kind of looks like Emma Stone a little bit.
Is it not Emma Stone?
It's not Emma Stone. It's actually, you know what? The more I think about it, the less she looks like Emma Stone. But yeah. So I watched that one. That was the one that I picked. I forget what Jamie picked. What did Jamie pick?
It doesn't even matter at this point.
Didn't get to see that one. And yeah, Samara Weaving. Yeah, that's the one. And then Joe, I watched the movie that you picked, which was Bridesmaids. And then we were in your car and we were going to go, do the episode. And you were asking me if I've seen them. And I said, yeah, I saw 2 out of the 3. I saw the one that I picked, rewatched it. And then I watched Bridesmaids.
Oh,
and then
you didn't watch Bridesmaids.
I did watch Bridesmaids. And then you looked at me and went, no, I picked Table 19. And so I didn't watch that one. So I'd seen my own pick, and I believe Jamie was also fairly busy that day. So we said, fuck it, no.
No, you had maybe you watched Bridesmaids, but you had told me in the car you watched 27 Dresses, which was the rom-com.
Oh, that was the one. It wasn't Bridesmaids. It was 27 Dresses.
That was from an old episode we did over a year ago.
That was. Yeah, you're right. It was 27 Dresses.
So still a live in-person episode of all 3 hosts does not exist. No, but a photo of us does now, so that's nice.
A photo does. That's true. That's true.
And so back in May, Jamie and I sat down and we talked about Disney and whatever the hell they're doing over there at that company these days.
Yeah, who knows?
That's a good episode. Go listen to it.
To the episode.
Jesus Christ. But then Noah, you and I, we've been pitched an episode multiple times over the last 5 years.
We certainly have.
A friend of ours from college, Mike Polak, has begged us multiple times to let him come on and talk about B movies.
Yeah.
And finally, we said yes.
Yes.
Making Mike's dreams come true.
That's true. I've heard that he's been dreaming of it.
And we've talked about Mike, though, before on the pod a few times. And we've mentioned that Mike is probably one of the most controversial people we know.
You say that like Mike's
not done
anything.
Love. Yeah, I say that with love. I say it with love.
I will confirm Mike is a good person.
Mike is a very good person, but Mike, especially with me, Mike will just take the exact opposite stance just to get a rise out of me.
Yes, he will.
And I feel like that could go wrong very quickly on this show.
I feel like that could go very right.
But so in terms of this might be controversial, we felt it might be best to get as controversial as we possibly could and also bring back our most controversial guest on the show. So now, without further ado, would you like to tee up this episode?
Roll the intro.
Welcome to 21st Century Cinema. It's the podcast about film and the film industry. I'm one of your hosts, Joseph Delavic, and joining me all the way from the other side of the country, from the wonderful, mythical place of Newfoundland, it's Noah Shepherd. Noah, I've already asked you how you're doing, but it's post-musical season and theater season, which means you're kind of recovered now. Shakespeare by the Sea, you did a really funny live show with your friend Jared over the last few months. How are you doing now that you've got another year before you go back to all that?
It's probably going to be a couple months. I think we're going to enter an improv competition, which is interesting because I don't really like improv that much. Neither does Jared. We just think we're funnier than everyone else, so we're hoping that that'll work out.
Jared did say that to me. He was telling me about your live show, and he did tell me how like you guys are funnier and how some people just go up there and do stand up instead of theater.
Yeah, it makes us angry, but it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, so we're entering that. Sketchfest is around the corner. We'll see if we're back into that. Last year we had a really good show, well received, and yeah, just kind of figuring out how it's going. But I'm excited for a couple of months of sleeping, which is nice. I'm excited to not do anything. I had been pretty much other than besides just my 9 to 5, I had also been working straight in theater from I guess it was February all the way through till September, so this month. And yeah, so it's been a long haul, but it's nice to get a bit of rest, but I'll be excited to go back at it.
Awesome.
How you doing, buddy? How's marketing go?
I'm good. Marketing is good. Marketing's wild. Summertime, everybody takes it off, and then fall, everyone's busy. Everything's super important right up until the week before Christmas. So I'm now in my summer was more relaxed, where yours was busy. And now we've kind of traded places. But that's okay. Marketing is good. Yeah, I'll give a plug right now. I'm on a new podcast as well for my work. We've launched a marketing podcast. It's live at the Hive, digital marketing from the trenches. And so I'm over there. We've got a few episodes up so far, and we've got some fun things. We just recorded actually yesterday. We're doing some marketing and sales funny Reddit stories. So check that out if you have any interest. But moving right along, Noah, let's talk about our guest before we talk about today's episode. Joining us first is all the way from Mississauga, Ontario. He is a chef, a talented individual. As we said before in the intro, he will take any other stance just to spite me. It's Mike Polak. Mike, how are you?
Amazing. Better now that I'm here, finally, after 6 years of begging. Also, chef is a huge word. Way over exaggerating what I do.
Well, how would you accurately describe what you do, Mike?
I'm a line cook or a prep cook / both of those things at the same time.
I would call you chef, Mike. I would say yes, chef to you.
Other people have said that to me. It's a lot. It's like being thrust upon me, and I'm not
Is the end goal chef though? Do you want to be chef one day in the professional world, or are you just happy where you are?
Yes, in the sense that I'd like to be able to run things, but I still don't know if chef is the right word for a guy that's kind of bullshitting.
If it's the imposter syndrome.
I kind of know how to cook. I know how to cook, I'd say, but there are way better cooks than me. I work at a bar. Calm down.
So if an ad's going out, are they advertising for a chef or are they advertising for a cook?
For a lot of my understanding of it, chef is a title. You know what I mean?
Yeah, gotcha. Gotcha.
The guy who runs my kitchen is almost in the same boat as me. High school diploma.
Yeah.
Run that shit as far as I'll take you. So no offense, he's amazing. Everyone is fucking. But he is a chef because he's the guy.
Fair enough. That makes sense.
I'm
yeah.
Hello,
You're
the guy.
You're. Are you the number 2?
I'd like to think so.
I would also like to think so. That would make me happy to think that.
I was told yesterday that I'm a senior employee.
Oh,
okay.
There you
go.
What
that's worth on anything.
I think that's enough.
It is what it is at this point. I like it. I'm going to do it for the rest of my life.
At my work, I'm also considered a senior employee, even though there's a guy that's been there longer than me that isn't Mike. So, and I'm number 2 there. So I think then, therefore, if they're saying you're senior, I think you're number 2.
I'm also considered a senior employee.
Aren't you a 1-year temp contract?
That's certain. That is correct. Not as in my experience, but my job title is senior assistant. So there you go.
Okay.
Whoa.
Like a senior junior.
I know.
Rockstar.
Right.
Also joining us today, returning after a long absence, all the way from Kingston, Ontario. His hair is much longer since the last time I saw him in person, but his personality still shines through even on a webcam. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jonathan Adam Van Ness is back. Hi, Adam.
How you doing, Joe? It's
I'm
to be
good.
back.
How are you?
I'm flattered that you dragged me out of exile to participate in this. I'm honored, truly.
We're
let this
excited to have
podcast
you.
be redeemed. By my
Officially-
return.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So we've been in a slump, and you guys are here to take us out of it.
Yes. Precisely.
Okay.
If your numbers do at all better, you're not hearing the end of this from either of us.
Our top episode is currently the one that my boss was on a year and a half ago, and it has skyrocketed. It is insane. It gets like still a lot of listens every single month. We're a small podcast. We average 100 to 200 listens per episode usually. That one is still getting hundreds of listens per month. It is insane how big that one has
Well,
gotten.
you're gonna get my friend Zach. So
Okay,
Ooh,
awesome. Glad to
hell
have
yeah.
Zach here. Glad to have Zach. Shout
I
out to
Shout
Zach.
out Zach.
I've told everyone I know about this. I'm like, hey, guess who has made the horrible mistake to let me back on their podcast? And they're like, no way, Joe would be that much of a fool to deign
Not-
to let you back. And I said, he's letting me back. And I'm like, oh.
Not
I'll
only
make
do
him
I believe
regret it.
you've had that conversation, I was going to bring this up later in the episode, but Adam has publicly put on his Letterboxd account that he's going to make us regret inviting him back on the show.
No. What Letterboxd account? I don't know what. I don't.
I
I'm
won't
not-
drop the ad if you want to plug it yourself. I'm not going to plug your own things that you use a different name on. I don't know if you want that out in the world or not.
I
That is
just
your
don't know
call.
what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Sure.
not. I would never use Letterboxd.
Oh, you wouldn't, would you? Mhm.
Mm-mm.
I'm going to
Never.
start listing off the recent movies you've seen in the stats you've given them. I should go and see what you gave Spring Breakers, since I'm assuming you either reevaluated or clicked a rewatch on it.
It's on my favorites, of course.
Hmm.
It's up there with Vice.
I love Vice.
Vice, straight up.
I've still never seen it.
Noah, come on.
What?
Vice is the reason this podcast exists. I don't know if anybody knows that.
It started before me.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, and not to you, Noah. Sorry, I know you know the history of the podcast. Okay, you've been here long enough. You started as a guest host. You're a full host now. We know you know the podcast, Noah. Even though you lose trivia every year when we do
That's
it,
true.
Um,
That's true.
we know you know the podcast. But for Adam
Which
and
is-
my, the podcast exists because of Vice. It was the idea to start the podcast came after watching Vice.
What?
Yeah.
What an
Whoa.
origin.
Yeah.
Well,
There's the origin story where Jamie said, "Joe, will you do a podcast with me?" after we were talking about Vice after seeing it. And I said, "Sure, as long as you do half the work." And Noah, where are we with that?
You're still editing episodes, which is nice. And
If
coming up
ever
with
you want to
topics,
revisit Vice, please have me
scheduling
back.
them, and
We never did an episode on it. We just started with and gave our opinions on it. Maybe honestly, I would love to look at Adam McKay's entire filmography. I think that'd be a great episode.
Absolutely.
I
Big
love his
Short, awesome. Don't Look Up, dog shit.
awful.
yeah,
It's
Did
a,
he
it's,
make
a,
dog
that's a
shit.
hard cut.
it's an incredible range, but you know he wrote on
Did he
SNL,
m-
so the bar is low.
Did he make Dumb Money? Who made Dumb Money? The one that came out last year? That I enjoyed Dumb Money.
Yeah, that was good. I love Paul.
I don't know
Dano.
if it
I've
was-
seen
I
everything
don't-
with Paul Dano. He's handsome.
He's weird handsome, which is a better form of handsome.
Agreed.
He is
Yeah.
amazing in
Agreed.
The Fablemans as well.
I still haven't seen it.
The
Which that
Fablemans?
one I
Wasn't
really
it Fablemans?
should.
I love The Fablemans.
I really should.
The Fablemans was like,
It's
oh
like
my god,
Spielberg.
Paul Dano's getting old.
It's like Spielberg's film about film, which is like, yeah, but it's like it's not. It's
I
not as
hate
love
films
letter.
about film.
I also hate films about film, but I think
Oh,
I would
thank
like
God.
Fablemans because it's basically about how much film has killed him inside.
It's okay.
Because I get like a weird feeling from like whenever I kind of hear like somebody be like, "This movie is a love letter to cinema." I'm like, all right.
Yeah,
Here, man.
Just-
Whatever you say.
Not a love letter. Ugh.
All right, guys, let's get into today's episode. So, as we mentioned before, we're talking about B movies. And what constitutes a B movie? Well, there are two things that can constitute a B movie. One of
Jerry
them,
Steinfeld.
Yes.
All right,
Thank
I had
God,
to get
I'm
the joke
glad
out of the way
someone said it.
early. I had to get it out of the way early.
and that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Only unfrosted today, guys. It's unfrosted for the next hour.
No,
Um,
not that one.
Some people I went to high school with are in that movie.
Really?
Just, yeah, these like two twins that went to my. I don't know them. I know of them. Apparently, they're on like Team Canada water skiing, and the fucking Amazing Race, and
they're
a Jerry Seinfeld movie.
do they have like
I,
speaking roles, or are they just like in the background?
I've just seen.
Mike's
via, like,
well
Instagram.
connected, though.
I'm not.
Yeah,
I hate
Mike's,
watch people on
I don't know if
Instagram.
Mike
Like, I
actually
get
is
jealous.
Italian. Mike, are you actually Italian?
Absolutely.
You are. Okay, so Mike
100%.
is one of the most Italian people I know.
Are you
with just the
actually
depth of
Italian
connection.
though?
I
Like,
didn't wasn't 100% sure, and I didn't
My
want to say
mom
Mike's
is.
Italian or
If that means
Mike's
anything.
fake Italian. But if Mike wasn't
Both.
Italian, he would be honorary Italian because of the way he just knows people.
Fake Italian.
I
don't know
Mike's,
people I
Mike's
hate.
connected. I went and visited him a couple times. I spent a couple nights at Mike's, but Mike's old place. And when I was there, yeah, your parents' house. When I was there, you took me to the pizza from Scott Pilgrim. So Mike knows places
Holy
and people.
shit!
I took him to the pizza on Spadina.
Yeah. Oh
for
yeah, you did, buddy.
Bathurst.
Yeah,
Shit.
you did.
That's amazing.
I mean,
And now Noah goes home to Newfoundland, this like remote village that he comes from, and he's like, "Guys, I went to the pizza from Scott Pilgrim," and their minds
they're
are
all
blown.
like, No, they're all like,
that's
"What's
a real
Scott
place.
Pilgrim?"
Oh. Only
What's
Mark
Pizza
Robert's
Pizza?
favorite movie.
That's true. That is Mark.
Are we
Robert's
shouting out Mark
favorite
Roberts
movie.
now?
Shout
We
out
are
Mark
always
Roberts.
shouting out Mark.
I love
You know,
Mark
we're
Roberts.
gonna tell him we shout him out in this episode, so he'll actually listen to an episode for the first time.
He won't.
So I
That
still
won't
think he
get him
hasn't.
Not a chance.
Same.
He texted me the other week. He's like, "Our old prof is in Moore's right now shopping for a suit." And I'm like, "Okay." Shout out Mark.
I know he
Roberts.
works at Moore's, but I think that's really funny.
He works at
Yeah.
Mars.
He works
He's
at Moore's.
like an assistant
I'm gonna go get a
manager
suit.
at Moore's.
Like straight up, I'm gonna go get a suit from Mark.
Go get a suit.
Yeah.
from Mark.
Absolutely.
I think
I
he's
miss
in
him.
Burlington still.
Has to be.
I would assume.
think so.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so.
We'll
It's
track
one
it
of the
out.
Ontario B places.
The Ontario B place. I thought you meant
Speaking
Moore's
of-
for a second. I'm like, yeah, Moore's is definitely on the B tier of places.
I mean,
in
Of
Ontario.
menswear.
Would you consider Kingston to be on the Ontario B list?
I meant places that start with B, but
Oh.
also yes.
Oh,
I just meant like not Toronto.
Oh, that's
GTA.
also. I mean, yeah, I consider Kingston to be a second-rate Ontario city.
I'm from Mississauga, trust me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know second-rate Ontario. City.
Guys,
Speaking
St.
of-
Catharines.
I was gonna say I went to through St. Catharines a little while ago, and
Everybody goes through St. Catharines. It's the only way to get to Niagara Falls.
absolutely, I was going to gamble. And
I
eat
gotta be
steak.
honest. I really
you do?
like St. Catharines.
gambled
think
and I ate
it's
steak.
gorgeous.
And then I went home.
Noah did just recently spend almost a week in St. Catharines and in like the heart of
I
St.
love it.
Catharines. You're a fan
I
of
think it's a nice city. It's Ontario, but it doesn't feel like it.
I have a lot of enemies there. I can't go back.
Fair.
All right. B
Oh.
movie.
B movies. So B movies. What constitutes a B movie? Two things constitute a B movie. One is a very small budget, and the second one is a rushed production time. Now, using this criteria, we asked each of our guest hosts to pick a B movie for all of us to watch, and then I submitted on behalf of me and Noah one for the podcast to watch. We're going to
Yeah.
start with the one that I submitted because it's the one I have a lot to answer for. And so let's get this out of the way.
That's
The movie I had everyone watch is a movie called Jennifer's Body.
Yes.
Now,
I knew
immediately
it. I
after watching
absolutely
Jennifer's
knew it.
Body, listen, allow me to explain. Jennifer's Body was not my first pick. My first pick was an extremely B movie. I would actually prefer to call it a C movie if I could. It's called Governor Gabby. Has anybody here ever heard of Governor Gabby?
I've definitely heard of it.
No.
Governor Gabby is a small
Oh, yeah.
made-for-TV Canadian. It was made like on Canadian cinema for when it aired on TV. I believe it was on CBC or something. It only aired once. It disappeared after that. It is lost media. It is almost impossible to find. I only saw it because I watched it for a podcast. So the podcast that I went to the live show of, they provided a video stream of it temporarily for people. It is honestly the worst movie I've ever seen. I wanted everyone here to watch it so we could all enjoy it, but could not find it anywhere. The premise of this movie is that a college student accidentally gets her name on the ballot for governor because of her university ballots getting mixed up, and she becomes governor of the entire state of California. The kicker, the entire movie, except for one scene, is ADR.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's weirdly common. I've seen the only
We're going to
other,
talk about yours, Mike.
okay, but not even talking about mine. There's this other movie that it's it was made in Saskatchewan. The entire fucking movie is ADR.
Hmm.
And you can see it because there's a lot of scenes where it's they're hanging out on a hill and there's tall grass and the grass is like that. Like
just filming in hurricane level
yeah.
winds.
And you see him talking, and it's just like they got somebody to do a fake Canadian accent.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Continue.
So yeah, so those are so using that criteria. Now, in my defense, I did think Jennifer's Body's budget was a lot lower than what it was. I thought it was only like 2 to 3 million at most. It was a lot more. So I will take my lumps on that. But Jennifer's Body, why I chose it for the B movie criteria is because it actually had a very rushed production because the studio was kind of dumb. The studio spent a year parading trying to get the actress after they got the rights to the script. When they finally got Megan Fox to sign on, the writer's strike happened. And so the writer's strike happened, and it went on for 9 months back in 2007-8. And because of that, when they came out of, they actually had to rewrite a big chunk of the script. And so by the time they got to production, to not lose the rights and make their spot for film festivals, they had to rush the production of the actual movie. So that is why I chose Jennifer's Body. I understand it's not a typical B movie. I understand it is nowhere in comparison to these other 2 B movies. I understand.
It really isn't.
Okay? 100%. But I just want to answer for it right now for why I chose that movie and what happened. The movie I wanted everyone to watch was unavailable. If anyone ever finds a stream of Governor Gabby, I will happily invite Adam and Mike back on to talk about Governor Gabby if they want.
So that's the price.
That's the price. You have to find Governor Gabby.
I got a guy that can do that.
If you can please find Governor Gabby, get us a stream of it. We will all watch it, and the 4 of us will come back and talk about Governor Gabby.
That's
and 2 other movies that we suggest.
And 2 other movies. Sure, we can do B movies part 2.
W.
This time in person.
Oh, I have to fly up. Actually, Joe has to fly back.
No matter what, me and Noah have to fly, unless we all fly to Noah.
That's true.
Like,
well, you would still have to
I doubt people are flying out to Vancouver.
Yeah.
I mean, it just so happens you guys live in very beautiful parts of the country, so just make a decision and I'll get the ticket. Like, the Maritimes or Vancouver, like, beautiful.
Well, next summer, I might be going to Newfoundland because my wife might be going to a physics conference in St. John's. So I might actually be going to... Yes, I am married now.
Like
we started this episode talking about my wedding.
My wife.
My wife. But yes, so yeah, see, Adam, I am married. Noah was there. He had a lovely time.
I'm proud of you, Joe. I'm very proud. Because when I first met Joe, he was just like an asshole.
Yeah.
Now he's married and has a podcast. So like,
you can't be an asshole.
I'm married. I have a podcast. I went to therapy and really like chilled out and everything. Yeah. It's amazing how much
he's in marketing now.
Your mental health. Marketing? I have a very good full-time job in marketing. I'm high in my field. Yes, it's all true.
Little claps, you know.
Thanks, Mike.
Little claps for Joe. Everybody, little claps.
All right. We can jump in here. Let's talk about Jennifer's Body. So just a few notes here. The first thing, let's give a summary. Jennifer's Body is when a demon takes possession of her high school hottie Jennifer, turns a hungry eye on guys who never stood a chance with her before. While evil Jennifer satisfies her appetite for human flesh with the school's male population, her nerdy friend Needy, played by Amanda Seyfried, learns what's happening and vows to put an end to the carnage. There is also a boy love interest of Needy. He is a rocker boy in this movie. Just one random fun fact: the company trying to make the movie, gosh, couldn't say that, really tried to get Pete Wentz to play that role, but he would not. They really tried to get Pete Wentz, a Fall Out Boy, to play that role.
That's really funny.
It was on the Wikipedia page, so I felt like it was worth mentioning.
That absolutely is worth mentioning.
Wait, who? Needy's boyfriend or the guy in the band?
The guy in the band at the end.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been this guy
in the pool scene. Yeah, the one that gets attacked. Yeah, he was supposed to be played by Pete Wentz.
Oh wait, no, Needy's boyfriend.
Yeah, Needy's boyfriend. He also has a guitar.
That would have been even fucking weirder.
Yeah, that would have been. He's a bigger role.
Yeah.
They wanted him, and I think it's Adam Broley, however you say his name, plays.
The guy from Perks of Being a Wallflower, but not.
There you go.
Or Ezra Miller.
Needy's boyfriend is young Neil from Scott Pilgrim.
That's true.
Whole circle.
That's
Scott
true.
Pilgrim was worth mentioning in the beginning. All right, awesome. We are like 30 minutes in and we haven't even started talking about these movies.
Yeah.
So
That brings me
Jennifer's
back.
Body. Noah, why don't you go first with Jennifer's Body?
Yeah. So I really like campy movies. I just enjoy just have it can't like I like Jennifer's Body. It was fun. It was dumb. It was campy. I'm also a bit of a slasher fan, so I think like it's very I put an asterisk next to Jennifer's Body as a slasher, but you know what I mean. It has the same sort of general setup of a teen getting killed in an obvious way and then payoff. But yeah, no, I just kind of enjoyed Jennifer's Body. I don't really have a lot of notes for this one, just because I had a pretty mind off, nice time watching it. I thought it was pretty funny. Yeah, I don't really have much deep analysis on this one. Megan Fox, I find, is really good in it.
This is her best role, hands down.
Yeah,
This is her best
because she doesn't need to be good in it, and that's why it's like it's right. It's that campiness that I'm fine with it. It's a good October movie. If you're just looking for something to throw on, not pay too much attention to, but still kind of enjoy, I recommend it.
I enjoy Jennifer's Body as well. I think it's a good film. It's fun. It has its issues. Okay, I'm not saying it's absolutely great. I think I have like 2.5 or 3 stars of it on Letterboxd. But shout out to Adam and both Jamie Rabonal for making me use Letterboxd now, and now I'm putting everything on there. But yeah. Mike, you can audibly laugh. You didn't have to turn away and cover your mouth.
That's don't do it. This is how
Mike's got a system.
Okay. But I do enjoy Jennifer's Body. I think it's campy. I think it's fun. I think the third act though is extremely drawn out and just I don't know. I was kind of sick of it by the third act. But overall I think it's fine. Also, just a fun little me fact about it, which I know Mike will love to call it. I don't know if Mike knows this or not, so I'm going to say it to get ahead because I know if anyone was going to call this out, Mike would call it out. Would be that I was introduced to this movie because there's a B-track Panic at the Disco song featured in this film.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
That seems like the type of information I should know, but I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. New Perspective by Panic at the Disco was done for this movie. One of 3 unknown B-sides. Yeah, for the movie. New Perspective by Panic at the Disco. It's on the official soundtrack. There are other 2 like rare B-sides for Panic would be the Arkham.
Oh no.
That's fine. Honestly,
Joe.
I think it's really funny that he's cutting out while speaking about Panic at the Disco.
Did I cut out there?
Even
Awesome.
the podcast was like, that's enough.
It's on the video, so we have the clip, so I don't need to repeat myself. So we're just gonna layer that in, so it'll be more fun. I just listed off 2 other fun B-sides you may not know about Panic at the Disco.
I'm glad.
I heard
did that.
Some of it.
There's a Mercenary, Arkham City, and
you don't need to
they did
repeat
with
it.
fun.
It's okay.
There you go.
That's fine.
All right, Mike or Adam, who wants to go first? Who wants to?
Oh, Mike, please go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I've blithered enough on this podcast in the past. You, by all means.
I took like a page and a half of notes watching this, just like
You may
thinking
share
about everything
as much as you want.
I'm
Go
not
ahead.
just gonna like riff it out, but like my whole perspective, a lot of this movie was kind of just like teenage girl being written by a boardroom full of 50-year-old men. But somehow it was written by Diablo Cody, who wrote Juno.
No way.
Yeah, exact.
You couldn't tell?
I mean,
No, I didn't.
But like,
I've only seen Juno.
it was
Oh,
a little like,
It's all quirked up. It's exactly
like
like Diablo Cody.
yeah,
Slut quips.
yeah. Like one of my things was like the fact that like they call each other in the opening scene by like the names of like I don't even know, feminine hygiene products. They call each other Vagisil. Like that's on the nose as fuck. They got indie guys right.
Yes, they did get indie guys.
That's what they are.
Yes.
J.K. Simmons, like over my notes, I grew on him and his role in this movie. Because at first I was like, oh, why? Like, you don't need to be here. You're not doing great either. Then I realized like he doesn't give a shit and he's just kind of and it's great. And
I've
it's
never
very
seen
obvious.
him. I've never seen him do a role like that.
Yeah,
He reminded me of Spangler from Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
Also, I've never seen him that fat before. That's the fattest I've ever seen J.K. Simmons in a movie.
It's the hairpiece. So that's 10 pounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
The fucking kiss scene, like with Edie and Megan Fox, Needy and Megan
Needy
Fox.
and Megan Fox, yeah.
That was the most like we did this for the trailer, like
Yeah.
thing
Oh,
I've ever
yeah.
seen in my entire life.
Yep. Oh, 100%.
Sorry, my notes are also just long. The pepper spray, like from his mom, that was the biggest like Chekhov's gun like moment ever.
Yeah.
And why does her school have a section dedicated to how to kill demons?
That's true. That's true. Honestly, we're coming off the backs. I mean, like Buffy was 10 years ago. I think every high school in America was stocking up.
All right, maybe fair enough.
Just a quick thing though, Mike and Adam, you can feel free to chime in here too, because you had the reaction for J.K. Simmons. What was your reaction when Chris Pratt shows up as the cop?
Oh yeah.
That was weird.
That was
This
weird, right?
This was like
Weird.
Parks and Rec time, right?
Yeah,
Like, probably.
it was.
So
Yeah.
he was still kind of
Yeah.
like
It was Parks
on
and
the
Rec.
come up.
It was
So,
before
like,
Guardians.
I guess it was like in his ballpark, you know, just kind of being like getting my foot out there, like I'm with Megan Fox, I'm in Cypher. Like,
It was an excellent Chris Pratt.
it wasn't.
Yeah,
It was
I
good.
was just- that's just all right. I think overall though, 5 out of 10. Mid as
Yeah,
fuck.
fair enough.
It'll
Okay.
be there if you need it,
Yeah,
type thing.
I would
I-
give
I
it a
feel
6,
it.
so yeah, that's fair.
yeah, I'm around the same 6, 7, around there.
Adam?
Adam.
You know, I would definitely say that I loved this movie. It was a really fantastic sort of yeah, you don't want to say the word love letter, but it had all those exploitation motifs that we came to love in other B movies. Sure, this one doesn't meet the definition of B movie in any technical sense. I mean, you can make whatever excuses you want about rushed productions and the like, but really at its core, there are so many little motifs, so many callbacks, so many faux cut corners, if you will. Do you remember Megan Fox no clipping through the pool house? Do you
Yeah.
remember the deer eating the obviously fake guts of that football player, linebacker? It was just a fantastic sort of B movie send off that had a lot of love and a lot of care. And you know, Diablo Cody, love her to bits. Voice of a generation, truly. Her writing is so laden with nuance and symbology. And I just found it to be a profound, moving experience with distinct characters, the likes of which who have appeared in nothing else that I've seen. Just great movie. I'm glad we all at least kind of like it.
I don't know if you're being sincere or not right now, because your letterbox
feel
review is
sincere.
so
I was going to say
different.
that didn't seem sincere, Adam.
I don't have a letterbox, Joe. What are you talking about?
I'm trying to find your review just to pull some of the. So I need to pull some quotes from what you said in this thing.
I don't know
Um,
what you're talking about.
No surprise that this cheap, shallow thing appeals to the brainless quipster side of Letterboxd. It's the opening line.
Well, that doesn't sound like me at all.
Maybe I should start using Letterbox.
I also love this. I just love the way this is written. There's raunchy humor, sexuality, light violence, and even some F-bombs. Ooh, very saucy, Jennifer's Body. For real, though, this movie absolutely forsook its R rating. No nudity, only brief violence, mild language, and mature themes. Some viewers may find offensive.
That's fantastic.
I don't know if I'd write something of the sort. No, Jennifer's Body is fantastic, and it really belongs in a podcast episode about B movies, and it just had a lot of powerhouse talents. I mean, Megan Fox, agreed, at her prime, you know, head and shoulders above her other performances, such as in Jonah Hex,
Ugh.
Transformers.
Mike had a physical reaction to
Jonah Hex was a deep pull. I completely forgot.
Josh, I mean, as long as we're speaking about great talents, Josh Brolin. Mwah. Has anyone seen the deleted scene from Jennifer's Body where the linebacker's
Is this
dad...
real? Wait, is this real? Or are you doing a bit?
No, I'm dead serious right now. Okay.
I have not
Listen.
seen it,
Editor,
but I just
put
want
the
to know if this was a
clip
joke
right
or
here.
not.
The father of the linebacker who gets gored
Mhm.
is
Oh.
played by Bill Fagerbach, who portrays Patrick Star in SpongeBob.
Oh,
And there is a
yeah.
deleted scene. I don't know if you guys watched the director's cut. Me being a big Jennifer's
Sure
Body fan,
didn't.
I did.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And in the director's cut, Patrick yells at the top of his lungs, "I'll cut off your nutsack and nail it to my door like one of those lion door knockers rich folks got. That will be your balls." That's what he says in the deleted scene.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I can send you guys.
How'd they leave that on the?
How did that end up on the cutting room floor?
Well, it's a scene that takes place right before the skinny dip, which of course had a lot of profound double meaning and whatnot, and it featured the titular Jennifer's Body. What little of it we got to see, but yeah, I'm gonna no, I'll send you guys a link for
That'd be fantastic.
And yeah, it's an awesome little bit. That's all I've got to say about Jennifer's Body. A+ movie. I don't give these out lightly, but I would say 5 stars. 5 bags of popcorn.
Is that what Letterboxd said?
No, the end of the Letterboxd review, it says shitty with an exclamation point and a heart emoji. But I have to ask, I was also scanning through this, and I see right here that you just have, while the other dorks on the podcast were telling me about this film, the allegedly straight one. Did you refer to me in a Letterboxd review as the allegedly straight one?
He's definitely talking about me.
I think we're all allegedly straight.
Well...
No, because then he pulls a quote that I said to him exactly. So that is why I'm asking.
What was the quote that you said? I mean...
I said that this has become a classic amongst the LGBTQ, which you saw on Letterboxd. You know is not true. You know the LGBTQ love this movie, but you have phrased this as, the other dorks in the podcast were telling me about this film. The allegedly straight one told me that Jennifer's Body is a bisexual classic.
I can see that.
I can see that, yeah.
Oh, yes, because there's nothing bisexuals like more than... who did Mike mention the trailer shot lesbian kiss?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing quite like representation, like exploitative spectacle. I find personally.
I think that's the
man.
first thing you've said that lines up with what is said in this review.
Oh no! I mean, I think exploitative spectacle is great. I love it.
Anyways, yeah.
I'm just I've
No,
just
I'll
sent
share
a
with
link
you,
to the
Adam,
chat
of the scene.
Yeah,
The balls.
if you don't believe me, the balls scene.
I believe you, Adam. I know you couldn't make something like that up.
Yeah, I'm known for my honesty.
You're no Diablo Cody.
Personally,
this was the writing
get Ty.
to Juno.
When
That's
I-
like my one thought.
The reason why I know I believe you, Adam, is because the summer I met you, you were for 2 months obsessed with the song Tainted Love and the meaning of the lyrics because they made no sense whatsoever.
Yes.
Mhm.
Fond times. So old now. Ugh.
You were Tainted Love.
Uh,
I think Tainted Love was already old.
It's only as old as it feels.
Yeah. I loved the Marilyn Manson version.
Oh, Marilyn Manson makes everything better. Clearly.
I do find it funny though. I'm
Who's
looking
back?
at Letterboxd right now for Jennifer's Body, and so I've given it 3 stars. Adam has given it 1.5 stars. Adam's partner has also given it 1.5 stars. And then one of our other guest co-hosts, Jamie Rabonel from our college days, Mike and Noah, gave it 4.5 stars.
Jamie was not
Finally,
in
someone
our.
who gives it a good rating.
Jamie was not in our
Someone
class.
gets
Jamie
it.
was in
Jamie was not in our
BFT.
class.
I was
Jamie
gonna
was
say,
in
I have
BFT.
no idea who Jamie is.
Okay.
Actually, Joe, I don't think we got connected with Jamie until later.
second year. Yeah, and Mike was
Yeah.
not there. Okay, that makes
Expelled.
sense. Yeah.
Sorry, academic suspension, and then I never came back. Fuck Sheridan. All my homies hate Sheridan.
That's true. They do.
But Jamie sums up their review with this last sentence that I'll leave us with to end off Jennifer's body, and maybe it'll trigger Adam. It's all about embracing the demonic side because no one should be in control of what you can become other than yourself. Another rewatch of this might end up inevitable, and this will seem less like a ramble.
I mean, what a beautiful send-off. Like, it truly, just finding yourself, being you, and just killing a bunch of people.
Diablo Cody deconstructs the facade of purity presented and the way in which it has damaged the people living within.
Oh my god.
Jamie's on
Wow.
that BFTV stuff. That's the deep dive.
We'll
Don't
get
we move
to
along?
we paid Jamie also. Noah doesn't know this yet, but the podcast paid Jamie to watch and review one of these other B movies, which we're gonna get to.
Oh, I'm sure I know which one it is. I'm almost positive. I'm almost sure Mike Polak is correct in that guess.
Love that
Next
movie.
up, though, we're gonna talk about Adam's pick, Naked Fear. The synopsis for Naked Fear is Diana arrives in a town to start a new job. She's threatened into working as an exotic dancer. She's later kidnapped and let loose in the wilderness as prey for the psycho hunter, like many women before her. Will she survive? Now, for all of these, looked up more information, like I did with Jennifer's Body and everything, and I have it too for Kill Squad, the third film we're going to talk about. I looked up info so I could talk a little bit more about the production and the behind the scenes of this movie. Nothing fucking exists for Naked Fear. I cannot find anything anywhere. So, Adam, legitimately, do you know anything about this movie besides watching the movie? Do you know anything about it? Because I can't find any digital footprint for it besides its IMDb page, which has essentially little callouts that I also had written in my notes about plot holes or things like that.
What are you talking about? I'm sure that plot was airtight.
Yeah.
Honestly,
When we talk about the stoners in the Volkswagen, what happened to them? We'll get to that.
A little ambiguity elevates every film.
That's true. That's true. You should walk away with questions.
But Adam, seriously, though, do you know anything else about this film, or how did you come across
Why are you
this
asking
film?
me about this?
Because you picked this film.
Well,
So,
you said
How did you come across it? Tell us
specifically-
about it.
Okay. Once upon a time, I was told that my suspension would be lifted, that I would be allowed back onto the podcast, and that the episode would be about B movies. And I said, how deranged can we get, Joe? From 1 to 10. 10 being Angel's Melancholy. And he says, go full 10. I'm like, okay, well, just a warning. Angel's Melancholy has colostomy horror. At which point Joe said, no.
Maybe not full 10.
mm-mm.
He said he didn't want to watch the 3-hour movie filled with, like, pig intestines. And
I didn't. And quick poll. Mike and Noah, do either of you want to watch the 3-hour movie filled with pig intestines?
I mean, I don't want to. I probably would have, but
I'll take that.
Not all at once, but I definitely would.
Yeah, like break
well,
it up.
how
over
about
a couple
that,
days.
Joe?
Well, Adam, if you find Governor Gabby, you can have Angel's Melancholy on the second part of this podcast.
Fantastic. So I pulled from my very favorite, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a streaming service. It's more like a blog, effedupmovies.com, where if you want, you can go see Angel's Melancholy. It's an opus, really. And I'm working right now on a little project called the NCU, which is just as many movies as I can find, narrative and documentary, that have the word nude or naked in the title. It's been very enlightening. Anyways, Naked Fear was one of the early entries, and I don't know anything about it either. I stumbled across it, and I think it's neat.
All right.
I mean, I can give a more comprehensive opinion, but if you're
Well,
asking for more information, I don't have it. I didn't work on it personally.
Okay, so we know nothing about this movie except for the fact that we watched it and we have thoughts.
It's on
Mike,
Tubi. I know that.
On
Mike,
Tubi?
you want to
Yeah,
kick us
what's
off?
on Tubi?
How did you like
Honestly,
the ads?
Yeah.
Did you get
the
Swiffer?
ads were probably higher quality.
We had to watch ads with Kill Squad too because it was on YouTube.
I didn't.
Yeah, YouTube Premium.
You,
No.
you
Ad
paid-
blocker.
Adblock.
Okay, but I watched it on my Chromecast in my bedroom comfortably. I can't put an ad blocker on my Chromecast. I did
watched it in
revisit
my
it this
I'm sure
morning
there's
though,
a
and I
way.
did have an ad blocker for that.
Mm.
But Mike, why don't you kick us off with what you thought about Naked Fear?
The cold open was honestly like kind of awesome.
Yeah.
My- like-
I was like, oh, okay, here we go.
This is like we're in it.
Mhm.
A lot of like like obviously the lines are trash to a lot of extent, but like some of the shit they said that they let slide, like in the first minute, like the main character gets pulled over, and the cop's like, well, "What are you doing? What are you doing in town? Never seen you before." And she just kind of like, "I got a job at this place." Like that's literally the line. "I got a job at this place," and the cop's like, "All right, move on."
Can I actually say though, I have this here written in my notes. This is my first point is, okay, so we're just starting. Was my first note. My second line is, this is an excellent adaptation of Cops.
I
Yeah.
said that too.
They were so fucking useless. It was fantastic.
Banging on the car and everything, and then like later on, like how useless they are. The investigation, like, hey, a bunch of women are disappearing, and it seems to be connected with this exotic
They're like,
dancer club. We're not looking
who gives
into
a
it
shit?
though. Like, no, like an excellent adaptation of Police,
Yeah.
like hands down.
My first three notes are amazing cold open, just like on So You Think You Can Dance, which is one of the lines she says about being a stripper. And then the third line is fucking nailed asshole cops.
Absolutely. The cops were the most realistic portrayal of the whole
They
thing.
were.
Honestly, it's nice to have a cab cinema.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh,
And then also too, I have
glad
written in
you
here,
guys understand this.
just from that
this is
first scene
beautiful.
too. We know that they suspect her of being underage and everything, and so like that's like more reason to like possibly also be looking into this club. But they're not doing anything.
like they treat the guy like shit. Presumably, the reason that they treat the guy driving like shit is like, well, he works for that club, and that's where all the girls go missing. I'm like, well, have you fucking been to the club?
Yeah.
Like maybe talk to some of the regulars, like that one fucking guy that calls himself the Hunter.
But also,
I
why
wonder
do
where
we
the
put
women are going.
why do we put such an
Whoa.
emphasis in like the first 40 minutes, maybe an hour of this movie? Like the first part of this movie has such a heavy importance on these cops that have zero relevance and are just not
Like,
a part of the rest.
The guy who like moved to town, like that cop, like the rookie, whatever, that actually
Yeah.
like tried to give a shit.
Mhm,
He
with
was
the
right
roommate.
the entire time. And they just never fucking said, they didn't like follow through on it. He tried investigating. They're like, "You're fucked for coming to my friend's house." and then he was right. And they didn't even like acknowledge that. They just kicked open the door and they were both like, looked at each other like,
I swear to you guys, Mike is reading off my notes somehow. My next
Yeah,
line is the
absolutely.
roommate story and the cop go nowhere.
Absolutely nowhere.
she like threatens her roommate, like, "Don't steal my stash." Like, that's $6, friend. Like, it was like a couple ones. Another one of my favorite lines is they go to the Hunter's house with his wife, like the rookie cop, and he has his like mounted like elk head on the wall, and his wife starts talking shit about it when they leave, and she goes, "It looked like the elk was standing in the other room and smashed its head through the wall."
That's such a shitty line.
That stood out so much to me. I'm like, you mean a fucking mounted head?
Can I just say, as someone who grew up in the sticks, I am not a hunter. I've never been hunting, but I know many people who have.
Have you been hunted though, like Diana?
No, not that I know of. Maybe they're still looking. But the why were they mounted like that? There was so much of the elk on those mounts. Typically, it's a little bit of the neck and the head, but there was like full shoulders, and there was. I'm sure the lungs were coming out on some of them. But it's just such a shitty mount job.
It was the cheaper option than just getting like good ones.
They were just driving out, hitting deer, and bringing them out to set.
They made them themselves. They have no fucking idea. Like, I don't know. Pretty honestly, if it didn't drag on so much, I would say like,
Yes.
this movie was a lot higher, like on the list. Like, I think I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Like
Oh, okay. That's a bit more than
overall.
okay.
Nice.
Maybe 7. Maybe
Wow.
like on a good day if like I'm feeling it. But like
I was at like 3.
Hell yeah.
honestly, my last note is like the ending feels like it's stealing from Teeth. If everyone's seen Teeth.
Yes.
Haven't.
I think those came
Or,
out
well,
a
I
little
know
too
it.
close together.
Yeah, Teeth came out first. I looked to make sure. Like Teeth is about a woman who finds out that she has a toothed maw vagina.
Vagina
And-
Dentata.
Yes, that.
Great movie.
Exactly. And then
Why
he
didn't we watch Teeth?
She
Nobody
castrates
suggested it.
people.
I think we already know
we
the
watched
3
it.
movies we're
I
I have
watching in
my
part 2.
suggestion for the I have my suggestion for the Governor Gabby episode.
Teeth.
couldn't do it. We had to watch Jennifer's Body. I'm sorry.
Governor Gabby, Teeth, and what was it? Angel's Melancholy are apparently the
Angel's
3.
Melancholy, yes.
And in order for
Yeah.
this episode to happen, Adam or Mike need to find a stream of Governor Gabby.
Easy. I
Or
got
a
a guy.
listener.
Shout out.
Mike's got a guy.
Somebody talked to Justin Wang about it.
I
Oh,
love all of
true.
your guys' observations. I mean, I have felt so alone walking the earth with knowledge of this movie.
I thought you didn't have knowledge of this movie.
Well, like having seen it,
Now,
you know, it's been a lonely road, and hearing people tear it asunder, point out the absurd amount of elk on the walls and the brainless, pointless cops. God, it means so much to me. Like, wow,
I feel
it's such
seen.
yeah, absolutely worthless movie.
I will say one thing I did find out about this movie is that it is loosely based on a real serial killer.
So loosely,
They all
though.
are.
It's
They
very
all are.
loosely,
He
yeah.
had
So
a gun,
loosely.
and they found the
but-
body without clothes.
But I
Yeah,
want to go back to
that's
what Mike was saying though. Mike, I really like the ending of this movie though. I will give it that. I thought the ending and her becoming a serial killer herself, and I thought that was great. I loved the ending.
That's how Teeth ends, except she's doing it with her vagina instead of just killing people. So it's just like a little bit better.
Just cutting off penises.
Mike,
Yeah.
you've said a lot of how I felt about this movie, but I will say, like, I think the biggest thing that this movie had going for it is that genuinely the plot was pretty interesting.
Yeah, no, this movie sounded interesting.
It was paced like ass.
Everything it hung on every shot, like
Every
it was for
single
so long.
thing. It took so long, but genuinely the premise and individual plot beats in that order were really interesting. It took people way too long to die. Everyone just had 3 or 4 fake outs, but
Except for the kids.
except for
Right
the kids, just right away. Didn't linger at all.
Didn't waste any
Bam.
time with them.
Didn't even show it either. That's in my notes. Boo! Show the kids getting shot. You pussy.
Hey, it's pretty ballsy to have kids' corpses anyway, you know.
That's
It's-
true.
I
But
don't want you seeing
But
this.
ultimately, I thought like whoever came up with the premise of the movie knew what they were doing. If they're the same person who wrote the lines, no, they didn't. I retract that statement. But like, you know, there was something there. It was, but it got a little too long. I was waiting for it to be over by the time that third act finally started to enter. Like I would say, at least 60 minutes.
I'm glad.
No, I know
that
it's an
Noah
hour
has,
build up to 40 minutes of.
Yeah.
I'm glad that
Running
Noah
bullets.
has started us into the apologetics section because
If we're getting to the apology, I have notes before we get to the apologetic section.
Oh,
Ooh.
sorry.
I refuse to.
My bad. I should have let you. No, go on, Noah, please.
No, it's not me. It's Joe. Mike said all my notes.
No, right. No, go ahead, Joe.
Sorry, I'll run through these quickly for you, Adam. Okay. So this is I called this section the missed opportunities to make this good. My first one is she is naked in the wild for 2 days, but always looks the same. There's like no dirt, no scarring, nothing. Like she's just fun and beautiful. She finds a shirt, but it's very quickly conveniently torn. How is she hit with a van and is just fine and gets up? How is he hit over the head with a rock and is just fine and gets up?
Rock.
Why does her feet leave these like huge footprints, but the boots that the guy's wearing to hunt her leaves nothing?
It's gonna be pretty good.
Hunting
Someone's
boots,
never-
obviously.
Someone
Oh,
has
yeah, why
never
do we
been
just-
hit by a car or smacked with a rock before.
And then my last one is, why is she being like chased with him like right behind her, and she then stops and turns for no reason just for us to have a shot that hangs on her boobs?
Oh well,
I
I
think you
don't.
said the reason right there, friend.
You know,
Like,
and accusing naked fear of exploitation, Joe. Wow.
never.
I mean, I think some of those points are valid. I've known people to get smacked in the head with a rock and be okay. I've also known people.
did.
That was like a mountain.
I fell 65 feet off a cliff, and I wasn't like just okay. Like, guys, I was in the hospital for a week.
Yeah, but one rock.
Yeah,
You got
but you
I
threw
mean,
out a
one
big
little
It
rock.
was a little rock. In the nicest way possible.
Go ahead, Adam. You can get apologetic now for the movie.
Well, no, I mean, Noah kind of started us off by saying that there is a smidge of half decent writing in there. For me, I find that the premise in of itself is genuinely kind of terrifying. I watch a lot of hideous, grotesque things, and at this point, someone's intestines being pulled out, it doesn't mean anything to me. But I don't know if it's something about the composition or just the situation in of itself, but this movie is a rare example of something that, kind of makes me anxious. When I see her in that situation, and of course we saw the opening, he's an efficient hunter, and when he just so merrily gives her that 15-minute head start, I don't know. I think that there is some level of intentionality, and I think that the filmmaking, despite it being a shitty, long-in-the-tooth B-movie that is just exploitative crap of the ass, I think that there actually is some merit. It does convey just enough dread for me to be like, you know what? There is something here. A certain je ne sais quoi, but I don't know. I don't know if you guys feel the same.
I do. There's a nugget.
I did write for a $500,000 budget. This looks and is better than I expected.
Ah,
I think I said it, like, if this movie just like kind of cut down on like the car drives off in the distance and you see it like the whole fucking thing. Like, I don't need to see it go over the mountain. I know it drove off after 2 seconds.
Yeah,
that type of thing.
Yeah, tighter editing, and you could have a real quick,
should have been 75 minutes.
Yeah, quick, good thriller.
Yeah.
And maybe
instead
if they
it's,
had time, just another pass at the dialogue.
Oh yeah.
Just
Maybe
maybe
more than just the people that lived in that town acting as the extras.
Yes, exactly.
That's not too much to ask.
I'm inclined to say that real rural people did make that movie. I think that Hollywood has a certain way of approaching rube culture, which always feels kind of ingenuine. And I don't know, when I watched that movie and I saw those particular bumpkins, a part of it did feel kind of real to me.
Well, I think it's the fact that they instantly hate everything from the outside, and then you need time for it to warm up. But it does. as a country bumpkin myself, I also hate the outside.
Jesus.
No, I don't.
I think I gave it 2 stars.
Are we ready to move on?
I think it's a 5 out of 10 for me.
6 out of 10. I'll give it a little bit. I liked it.
Yeah.
Until it started to like.
I think that's too generous, but hey, to each their own.
I like trash.
What's your rating again, Joe?
I think it's 1 star on Letterboxd.
Really? That's a bit
I mean,
harsh.
that's your opinion.
Yeah.
And you're entitled
I could give it 1.5. I could be provoked to give it 1.
Hey, there we go.
There you go.
All right. Our third and final film we're going to talk about was Mike's pick, and it's a movie called Kill Squad. And the plot line of Kill Squad is after their ex-platoon leader is paralyzed and his wife is raped and murdered, his former squadron of 5 soldiers reunite to seek revenge, but an unknown figure in black is personally hunting the squadron down too. Now, I have a few notes about the movie, like itself, before we talk about the movie. So the first thing is, Mike, were you aware of this? This movie is huge in Germany.
I didn't know that. I found it through Red Letter Media, like a YouTube channel that talks about shit movies before anyone calls that out beforehand, I know I'm copying them. It's a fucking amazing movie. I don't care. I know nothing about it other than on the
this
package.
movie has a cult following in Germany, similar to like the cult following for The Room and things like that. It's part of a German phenomenon known as, I'm going to try and pronounce this, Schonderdutch, which is a style of German media with random neologisms, jargon, and colloquialisms. So it falls into that. Germany also every single year airs 10 films essentially on cable that they deem their 10 top worst movies that they found this year. That's the thing. And this was on it, and I think it was 2018 or something like that. In the 2010s, this Kill Squad was aired in Germany on one of those lists. Just some other fun notes about the film. In the end credits, the Vietnam characters are classified and labeled as Vietnam dude, another Vietnam dude, and yet another Vietnam dude. I don't know if anybody caught that.
Great.
I also found out a bit about the film's budget. So the film's budget for filming was $80,000 US. It was financed by the following sources, according to a story published in 1982. Daily Variety published this story. So they had a joint bank loan first. Then they had $15,000 from Lad Rucker, a real estate company owner. They had $30,000 from the manufacturer and the film's director, Patrick G. Donahue, drawn from profits and savings from his tool and die business. And then they had $10,000 from Mike Donahue, the brother of the director, as well as the stunt coordinator for the film. Now, when they went, though, into post, they then brought on production company Summa Vista Pictures, and they came on board and they supervised and funded all of the post-production costs and commissioned a new music score for the film. So that one score that we hear 30,000 times in the film apparently was better than what was there before.
I
Love that saxophone.
That's 70s like jazz funk. Oh man.
I heard it. I can't remember like looping though. And I've seen this movie like multiple times.
It's played so often.
Is this the same song?
Like
It's the same. Yeah. It is played like every 5 minutes. But then again, this movie repeats the same plot every 5 minutes.
Oh God, I love
It's
it.
better for it.
I can't
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah. I'm gonna volunteer to go first for this one because I have so many thoughts about Kill Squad.
Joe, can I just say one thing? I'll let
Go
you
ahead,
do the rest of them. But my favorite note, and it has to do with the structure. Here's what I wrote while watching it. I admire most of the movie is watching someone get into an argument, beat up a bunch of random but thematically relevant people, then a man with an afro coming up and going, "Joseph needs you."
Yep.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Okay, so
Oh
Joseph
my
Needs
God.
You was the tagline they used to market this movie in the 80s.
That's awesome.
That's-
I didn't know that.
That's Joe.
I-
You're the expert, but I will come on and say fantastic marketing.
I thought I would know that because I have my VHS copy of it.
Oh my God.
So I thought it would be there somewhere, but the only tagline we get is Vietnam veterans, 12 fists, 12 feet, 24 ways to kill.
Nice.
So
That's a lot better. I think they
Awesome.
changed it after the theatrical release. Because, Mike, this movie had a theatrical release.
I can't believe that.
Neither could I when I read it. Neither could I.
Oh.
But the tagline for the theatrical release was Joseph Needs You.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So I started off with just the opening credits made me insane because I was already sick of the jazz funk at the end of the opening credits.
I'm never sick of jazz funk.
Yeah. So when the movie first starts, we see the Joseph talking to his wife, and I'm like, this sounds really ADR. And I'm like, is it? But maybe it's mixed badly. Okay. It took me a few minutes of watching it to realize it's poor ADR, only to realize that it's not the actor's voice. They had somebody else redub over this actor for the entire fucking film. And a lot of chunks of this film are bad ADR, or if it is the people actually talking live, it's really poorly mixed.
I think Lawrence is the only guy who got to say his own lines.
Nice.
Do you remember their names?
Yeah, that's the Afro guy.
Honestly, yeah,
I
honestly.
thought it was Larry.
Yeah, Larry
Yeah,
sure.
Larry,
Lawrence.
yeah.
Okay, fine.
I also flagged this quote from the first scene of the movie, which is, "Why, Joanne? Is it because he's black?"
I knew it.
I
Hard.
flagged-
Like he fucking says that shit.
Yep.
He's accusing her.
And then so I'm watching. Then my next line is, "Wait, what? They all just charged into the house, and the slap sound effects all started, and now they're fighting."
Oh yeah.
So, but this goes on. I did also think it was funny that this happens multiple times. That they all just fight for a guy to get shot in the end.
Well, that's what it's about, you know.
Don't bring a knife to a gunfight.
And
Like,
they
no
also
one can shoot.
continuously. Also, funny enough, in like the starting, I thought this was going to happen throughout the entire film, but it only started happens for the first like 12 minutes. They come across a girl and they automatically zoom in on their boobs, and then but then they quickly abandon that trope. But it started enjoyable. I was like, okay, this is just like bad kung fu, and I was enjoying it. But then it started repeating itself over and over again, and I started to get sick of it. And I wrote down the exact time code.
See, that's
of this
where I
one-
started to enjoy
Wait.
it more.
Wait, this 1 hour and 44-minute film, I wrote down the time code of when I got sick of this film. Does anybody want to guess?
Never, because it's amazing throughout.
Joe,
What are
I
you
know
talking
you're
about?
gonna
The
be on
time
number
code
10.
you got
I have
sick
no
of it
problem
at.
with this movie.
Okay, it's 8 minutes and 12 seconds.
8 minutes.
Joe.
Well,
I
some
was
people
dying.
can't
8
appreciate
minutes.
art. You know, some people just
Is it-
don't know a good thing when
it's
it
an-
smacks them across the
Joe,
face.
it's an 80-minute movie.
Is that
No.
in the? Is that the
I
scene where they're
know.
in the fucking like tool shop and they're like bickering
Yep.
about
Yeah,
that?
That's an amazing scene.
no.
When he shoots his own toe off.
Yeah,
What?
I mean, salt and pepper. Get over here.
Exactly. They're just talking.
Come on, Joe.
They're just
It's
ripping.
great.
The Vietnam montage is just way too fucking long. Way too long. A third
that
of this
one will give you.
movie,
That one will give you.
I put in this, it takes a
Yeah.
third of this movie for us to assemble the fucking Avengers. Because they just keep going and like Noah said.
Well, you have to know what they've been
Oh,
doing.
Okay.
It's Vietnam.
I wrote,
Wow.
I wrote down another favorite quote of mine. Wasted by a bunch of men from a John Wayne movie. They want you, man, and they want you bad. I
Oh.
thought that was an excellent quote.
So good.
Okay, then I have right here. The truck repair guy, Jesse, gets shot from above in the chest, but falls forward like it's the fucking Kennedy assassination. Like, completely, like, they
magic
get
bullet.
shot.
Oh boy.
At 51 minutes and 43 seconds, you can see the valve for the fake blood hanging out of the dead guy's collar where his dog tags were a moment ago. Like, the valve
I
is
didn't
just
notice
fucking
that.
there.
Nobody's
It's
perfect.
Ah,
fucking there. I also love that
fantastic.
everybody here in the movie, except for the guy in the last scene who doesn't die from his gunshot wound, but everybody
Yeah.
dies from fatal gunshot wounds in non-fatal areas. Like, I think I wrote this one down when the
Right
guy
away.
gets shot in the lower back and he's just dead. Like,
Gone. Is that the muscle guy?
My
I
favorite
really
character.
enjoyed.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the muscle guy's
He
was
commitment to being a
great.
muscle
also
guy.
for like this
Ripping
like
shit.
close platoon that all like love each other, they're all very numb to each other's deaths. They're just kind of
Right.
like, and he's
they've-
dead.
Listen, they've been through fire. They understand this comes with the territory.
I
They
also
signed up
love
for this.
They signed up for this.
57
Joseph
minutes,
needed them.
28 seconds. The car salesman's voice is 80 yard. All of a sudden, like, it's his voice. And then all of a sudden, when he calls the other guy over there, it's 80 yard. But then you see him still talking with no dialogue. Like, he's
Yeah, they
standing there
changed the
like
line.
this.
Yes.
Like,
They
there's no
thought of a
line.
better line.
Yeah, they did.
This is the better line.
They didn't cut. They just kept the shot going. 58 minutes, 15 seconds. Why is there a car salesman just walking around with a crowbar ready to fight?
Because you need Joe. They need to fight and they
Come
need to be on theme.
Um,
It's at a used car lot.
I
Joe,
did
it's
look
Kill
car
Squad.
weapon.
I did love the tire squeals that were just suddenly super, super high at like 59 minutes. And the kid goes over with the bike and he like screams and then he just sits up and goes, well, oh shit. And then I love the car chase. I was like, oh my gosh, something new. They did something different all of a sudden. I was so excited for the car chase. I think that's where the entire budget of the movie went. But okay, you've got your fine. You've got your two cars conveniently right up beside each other in the middle of the street for your ramp scene with the explosion. But then all of a sudden, the guy gets out of the car and he's running on foot down a main road, and we see the other car right behind him chasing him. Suddenly, we cut to a side street, and the guy still—they never caught up to him in the car. He was able to run down this main road to a side street all the way to this apartment complex without them catching him in the car.
He's fast.
You're nitpicking.
You also,
So
So we're just
sorry,
so
was there
we're
only-
getting
Was there only
Oh,
one dog
God.
tag prop in this movie? Because
I hope so.
the only time
Based on the
anyone's
budget.
ever wearing a dog tag is right before they die.
It's their dog tag.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the squads. It just says kill squad on it. And
Yeah,
nothing
no, but I'm
else.
saying like they only had like one prop because like in the other scenes, no one else is wearing the dog tag except for the one that will end up dying in that scene.
Yeah, it was planned. The
But
guy
then
in
they
the
hand the
chair
dog
gave it.
tags back. It's made to look like there are many, many dog tags.
They have
but there's
two.
really, yeah,
Because
but
they
there's,
they have two.
yeah, it's made,
They
but
do,
it's,
yeah.
you're led to believe like everyone is wearing one of these dog tags at all times when they're not. It's just my
Joe,
point.
let me put it this way: if you didn't have to pay rent, you could have financed this movie. I feel like it's okay if they're cutting corners on props.
Yeah, then more than that. Fine.
I have like 5 more notes. The plot twist was obvious. I'm sorry, I saw it coming, but it also makes no
Yeah.
sense. We'll get to that
No,
though. But why is the sniper scaling the side of the building and just not finishing these guys off? Like he's standing right there. They see him. He could have just kept going and gotten Lawrence. Like he
Only
had
one
the high
bullet.
ground.
Yeah, one bullet.
I
There you
love
go.
the guy that went 7 stories over the parking garage, but is then just lying flat. He went face forward, but then he's just lying flat on his back in the grass afterwards.
He rolled.
All of the people who get knocked into the pool and just sit there and float and
I
watch the
love-
rest of the fight
Did you
happen instead
notice
of getting back
there's,
out.
there's one extra in the background who like very clearly didn't know that he's on camera.
And
So
it's like
he's
this.
he's like this, and he's
Yeah.
kind of like watching the scene happen, and then he
Mhm.
realizes like, oh, I'm still on camera. He's like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I did see that. He's
I
grabbing his
love-
eye. Yeah.
I love that they just like when they're in the pool, they're eliminated. Like it's done. They're
Yep,
not allowed
It's done.
to come
Like a
back.
fucking video game.
Like a Royal
Um,
Rumble.
Joe, and then so in the final confrontation, Joe gets up, gets changed, puts on face paint that's a little bit elaborate because it's got like the markings on the mouth and everything.
At least 3 colors. Like
Gets a sword, and he does
He's
it all
going
in under
the
2
Halloween
minutes.
Yeah.
So it takes Lawrence to the car and back,
He's trained.
and then
he's
he
a
wants
to
little
kill
bit
this-
like,
and then his reasoning for killing the squad, they all went into war and took the same risks, and so that's why he wants to kill the squad essentially. But if he would have just let the squad be and taken out his enemies and then just never talked to them again, he would have gotten everything he would have ever wanted.
No,
but he wouldn't have had Dutch killed.
yeah.
Cameron Mitchell, my favorite actor.
Dutch would have been killed because the squad kills Dutch no matter what.
Yeah, but he needed the squad to find Dutch.
Yeah, just assemble the
No, what
squad
I'm
to go
saying
and
is
kill.
if he doesn't target the squad, if he doesn't do his whole sniper bit and target the squad, he would have gotten everything he wanted.
I
His
mean,
whole
neither
you know
one
what?
did.
and since he doesn't really have a good reason for killing the squad is pointless.
I was gonna say how would he find them, and I remember you paid him to kill his wife.
Yeah,
You gotta just call him again.
literally, like it's so dumb. Anyways, I didn't like
I
this
love
movie. I was
Oh,
tired
Joe,
of it after
you
10
fucking-
minutes.
Joe,
It's
Wow.
laughable looking back on,
Unbelievable.
but I think this was the weakest of the 3.
you are insane, Joe.
That's
This guy fucking rates this below Jennifer's body.
Yeah, I
My
gave it a
God.
half star on Letterboxd.
This?
Yeah,
This-
this.
Joe, this is all. Well, to be fair, I'm sure it's an all or nothing movie.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna run through a few of my notes.
Go ahead, Noah.
So I was writing these while I was doing it, and this note kind of seems like it probably was a little underselling, which was Joseph's ADR in the first scene. Is Joseph ADR'd in every scene? The answer was yes.
Yes,
The answer was definitely yes.
completely different. actor.
Loved the funk jazz, loved it, adored it. Love that guy had a gun in his desk at the print shop. I've said most of it. The one thing I really want to highlight is that Arthur's acting is fascinating. It is. I've never genuinely, through all of doing theater, through all of the movies I've watched, everything, I have never seen someone act the way Arthur does, and I'm speechless. It's beautiful.
Is Arthur the man in the chair? The sniper?
No, Arthur's the
Oh.
funny guy.
I love the funny guy. He's
The
my favorite.
Yeah. Isn't his acting just fascinating? I've never heard someone deliver
3,000
lines
centipedes.
that way.
That's no ball.
Yeah. I thought that whole. I was like, of course, that's how this movie fucking ends.
It's so good. It's so good. I love that the muscle guy. I love that he's just really muscled, but barely uses it. Like
He
he's
talks
not
like fucking
shown,
Andre the Giant.
he's not shown as being stronger than any of them. He's just really hinged.
Like they had the scene where everyone lined up and showed off their skills, and his skill was nunchucks. And I'm like, this guy just ripped a fucking car apart with his bare hands.
Why
That's
is he
your
doing
skill.
nunchucks? I also
Everyone's
like
doing nunchucks.
I was gonna say, I like that during this, I thought that they would all have a specialty, but like 3 of them do nunchucks, but not all of them. Joe, I completely disagree. This is a beautiful movie, but more than that, it is everything a B movie should be. It is the quintessential B movie. This is what the podcast episode is made of. Is Kill Squad. Tons of fun. I wish I had watched it with someone. I watched this one alone, which I can see why. Like there were certain parts where I was like, yeah, it's a bit repetitive. If I watched this with someone, I would have loved it even more than I already do. A beautiful movie. Genuinely had so much fun. We'll show other people this, and we'll definitely watch it again.
Beauty of it being on YouTube.
That's right, and it's on YouTube, and is 80 minutes. That's fantastic.
Perfect duration.
Absolutely. That's it for my notes.
So before we let Adam and
No, wait, I want to hear what they have to say about it.
no, I'm going to let them, but I just want to say one
Joe's got to
thing
plug
on the
Dollar Shave
TFC
Club first.
Oh my god, if we
We
have a
have
dollar
that?
shave, no, we don't,
don't
have
have
that.
that.
Oh my god.
Raid
We don't have
Shadow
any
Legends.
sponsor.
We wish we had a sponsor.
We couldn't even get Nord.
You know what? I'm gonna say it, and I think I speak for the entire podcast when I say, "Fuck Raid Shadow Legends."
Fuck Raid Shadow.
We don't want your shit.
Oh God.
We want Raycons or nothing.
But we did pay, as I said, we paid Jamie Rabanel. So he does commissioned film reviews, and we paid him to watch Kill Squad and do a review of it. He's doing a full length, like long ass film review, which we will be posting when we have it.
Oh,
But he
that's
did-
beautiful.
He did write on Letterboxd. He gave the movie 3.5 stars.
Hell
And
yeah.
he said about it, a 1980s independent movie made with the need to show off some incredible martial arts moves left and right, even if the resources to make the films aren't the greatest. But then again, you can't help but be taken away by the attempts at bringing all this to the screen, because there's no way any major American studio would greenlight this, because they're so focused on producing just one type of movie during the Ronald Reagan years. Glorious.
That is beautiful. I didn't even think of it as a fuck Reagan movie. I'm so happy that Jamie mentioned that.
It is. I love it even more now.
Commissioning film reviews?
That's oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Adam, do you want us to commission a film review from you now?
I mean, I'm
have a
just
small
glad that
budget.
I'm just glad that before, Mike and I got to speak, we let someone get a word in who isn't here.
It was just
But,
on the TFCC side. Go ahead. The floor is yours and Mike's.
Oh my God.
You go first.
What a flawless movie though. We've seen a lot of shitty team ups recently, and the worst part of every team up movie is the reluctance. Oh, I'm retired. I can't do it. I've got a kid and a wife, and I don't want to put my life on the line. And everyone said yes. They were already in the process of actively harming their community when they were stumbled upon. So of course they're gonna join up. Not 80 minutes, like you said, perfect. We don't dilly-dally for 1 second. It just goes through. There's the action focus, of course, but what few lines there are, oh my God. So many of them are so quotable and just incredible. If I wanted to get paid tomorrow, I would have done your garden tomorrow.
That was I forgot that was good. That was fucking good.
The pool scene. I could talk forever about that pool scene. You guys already mentioned some of the highlights.
I have a heart condition.
But there's an older woman who's on a chair in the background, and she unlike the guy at the bar, she does know she's in a movie, and the whole time she is just making sure that the camera's getting her best side. And she's just smiling. And these guys are beating the shit out of each other. She's on a lawn chair. She's in yellow. But it's, I don't know. Kill Squad
in the
is
pool
just
scene,
perfect.
Just to build on the pool scene here, the lady in the bikini who comes in like near the end of the montage fighting by
With
the
the
pool and like
fruit plate?
smashes the vase, right?
Love her.
Hey, did
She's
anybody
afraid of,
notice?
like, food? It's like,
Yeah, did anybody notice her like 10 seconds before when she's off to the side and he's fighting more at like the midpoint of the pool? She is
I mean,
standing there like
every
just
frame
like
of painting with
cross-armed
that
like
one.
this. Like she does not have a care in the world. She is just like off, cross-armed,
And
not paying attention to anything. And then when it's her cue to come in is when she suddenly comes in and she's a part of the action.
And between shots, the director's like, you know what would make this fight scene really novel? Hey, you in the bikini, get over here.
Yeah.
I think that I watch a lot of old like crummy exploitation movies, Candy Tangerine Man, Dolomite, all of that slop. And Kill Squad is just I mean, it's late to the party. It came out in what, 1981? And it
Delayed by 3 years.
I mean, it looks like it came out.
so
It looks like
that
it
makes
came out in
sense.
1970.
Yeah.
But
They had
I don't
so
know,
many problems
Joe.
making this
I
film.
have no
Really?
idea what you're whining about. I mean, you basically just listed for me the highlight reel, all of the great little awkward deliveries. I mean, so much of it was clearly just the first take. God, what a fantastic experience! I've watched. I've
It's
seen
a
it 3
good bad
times
movie.
now.
Like it's a bad movie, but it's a good bad
Oh, I'm
movie.
gonna go through and list every finicky problem, but I did enjoy it.
I know. I
I'm
didn't
gonna
enjoy
pick
it.
it
I
apart.
was very forward with. I was very frustrated with it from the beginning.
Well,
I did not enjoy
you
it.
know, people
But
have
if we're
tend to be
looking,
frustrated with
put
things
it in
that
the
they like.
same basket as
People
the
don't tend to be
room.
frustrated with things that they like.
Yeah.
So, were you triggered by it, or were you able to just sit back and have a good time?
I
Or were
couldn't
you
sit
just
back and have a good
scrambling
time.
on your notes?
I was scrambling on my notes, frustrated by it, Adam. But I put it in
Right,
the same
after the
category
8-minute
as the
mark.
room.
After
It's
the 8
it's a
minute
bad
mark?
movie, but it's a good bad movie. But it's bad. It's very bad.
It's
Which is also how I think you're going to feel about Governor Gabby.
well, the good. You know what, Joe?
I don't know if
Sure.
Governor Gabby has enough Afro kung fu.
Kill Squad may not be a very good movie, but unlike Jennifer's Body, it is a B movie. So,
And
That's
a very
true.
good movie.
And a very good movie.
and it is also actually high art. So,
I don't know if I've had that much fun at a movie in like months.
right?
Like watching that.
Yeah.
Naked or Kill Squad. Fuck.
Yeah, genuinely. I have not felt that childlike wonder.
Why
in a
do you
long
think I own this? Like,
I-
it's VHS. You think I just own it for shits and giggles? Or I really fucked with it? Like, this is my shit.
Absolutely. It's fantastic.
You know, I hate everything. I can't stand most of what I see. But Kill Squad reminded me of why I watch like 3 movies a day. It's what I'm always looking for. And Mike, did you pick this?
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love it.
Thank Red Letter Media, because I already know that there's gonna be at least one fucking person, if people comment on this.
Nobody
Comments
comments
and
on our shit.
Okay, thank God.
He'll text Joe though.
Somebody's gonna fucking say some shit.
They'll
but
email
we need to
Noah.
hear Red Letter
Listen,
Media
you've been
fanboy.
very honest about that. I'm never
I am.
that frank about where I steal my recommendations from.
Shit. I think the movie I was talking about earlier, the other Canadian one that's ADR the entire time, is also a Red Letter Media movie. I think it was on the same episode as this fucking movie. So, fanboy, yes, I agree. But continue.
Mike, do you want to take us through your thoughts? Anything else with this movie that you've got to add on what we've all said?
Genuinely, I very much I really enjoy this movie. Like, it's fun to watch. It's fun to rewatch. Cameron Mitchell, fuck, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. The big boss,
Dutch.
He is so charming. He's like probably the only guy that wasn't ADR'd by anyone else. That's his voice. He's just talking.
Yeah.
Like the
I also like that
MC
he has a cigar in every scene. He's never not without his cigar.
because you can find raw footage of this. Like half of the scenes, where he's just shining his gun, just sitting around. Any of the times they call him, he's at his fucking house. No if ands or buts, like he was the like big celebrity because he was like a name in like the 50s, maybe earlier, later, whatever. I don't care. And like, so he was kind of like these movies, like a lot. He's in a lot of shitty movies close to the end of his career, where it was almost just like they were hiring him as like the big name talent, but it was like they'd show up to his house and he'd just like sit behind the desk, like shining his gun, just like, hello, yeah, I get him, like that type of shit. And it's charming. The end, he's literally just like at the pool scene before he's yelling about his heart. He's like, get him, kill him, get him, you dumbass, like just yelling shit. He's great. I big fan of art. He was
love art.
Pet Bugs is $1 million idea. He was
I love him.
Time. He has one of my favorite lines in the movie, which is when he's getting threatened about the money he owes. He sees somebody come out with a baseball bat, and he just goes, "Hey man, I can't play. I didn't bring my ball." Genuinely, like that moment, I started laughing. I'm like, you know what? I do like this movie is funny. I'm not laughing at it. I'm laughing with it. Officially.
I have an honest question, like legitimately, like if you guys have any theories about this, because as we pointed out, a lot of the movie is ADR, but then B as well. I don't know if anybody else picked up on this. They repeat a lot of lines of dialogue, like often. You know, like those like in the pool scene where he's like, "I've got a heart condition." He says it like 5 times. He just kind of keeps repeating it.
And the same with like what I was saying, that like, get him, blah, 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 like,
yeah. Exactly. And like, yeah, anytime they talk, when the guy's on the phone, he's like, "They want your ass bad." He says that like 5 times. There's a lot of repeated dialogue in each scene.
So I have
a lot of repeated scenes.
Yeah, no, but my question is, because of the ADR, do we think that the ADR and all this is because the script was worse when they filmed and they wanted to change a lot of it, and this is what they came up with?
Definitely.
Or wait. My second theory. Did they let them try to improv and everyone was just really bad at improv?
Both. That's probably why.
They probably got it back and were like, we should write a script.
You know what, guys? Honestly, I think this is honestly all gone too far. I'm calling it off, and I'm going to take what little information we have and give it to the police, because this has gone too far. It's really gone too far, and I'm going to take what information we have and give it to the police.
Please do.
Do you have a record of this? It's in the car. Can you go get it? I want to look it over before I give it to the police.
Hey, man, all you had to do was ask, man. That's the problem with the world. No communication.
That was so good. That was so good.
That guy called fucking Larry the N-word. And now he's sitting here like, you know what, man? Communication is what'll fucking fix everything. Like, all right, man.
That was so good.
Whatever the fuck.
Mike,
he's a Twitter Republican.
I'm with you, though. Mike, I'm with you. I am not laughing at this movie.
It starts that way. And
it starts that way. And then you get it.
Yeah.
And if you don't get it, you're missing out.
I don't know that Joe got it.
I don't think Joe got it.
I will admit, because, okay, so I did, when I watched the movie like in full, I was annoyed and everything. I skimmed through, like it took maybe 20 minutes today, and I did skim through certain parts just to go over some of my notes that I had scribbled out. And I did enjoy it a bit more. I was just like, I'm just in a better mood. It's a Saturday that I'm watching this on, not a Thursday and a Friday. But perhaps I'm, I don't know. Maybe if I rewatch it.
Is your movie taste like the tide? Does the phase of the sun affect what you think of what you're watching?
I don't think so. I think I would still very much have the same problems with it and everything. Maybe I would laugh at it more though, or not be as irritated watching it if I rewatched it again, now that I know what I'm getting into more. Maybe that's it. Because honestly, I was the most excited for Mike's. I honestly thought, knowing Mike is a B-movie lover, I really thought Mike was going to give us this hidden gem. So maybe also too, it was my own. Okay, fucking hell. Maybe it was my own perceptions that also made me very irritated watching.
Me too much, you know.
I did.
I set too high of a bar for myself every day. The high school diploma and everything.
I have a degree from Brock. It's worth just as much.
I do want to say though, this movie's pacing, like the way it like reuses scenes in like slightly different ways, kind of reminds me of when I was a kid. And I didn't like when I was a kid, I would play Power Rangers a lot because like I was an only child and like I fucking loved Power Rangers. So I would just do like the shit in my head, you know, like fake sword, blah blah, act out the same It's the same
Yeah.
thing where it's just like the same scene but slightly different. Now I gotta fight grunts over there.
Yeah,
It's like an
this
episode of
movie
Phineas and
does
Ferb.
kind of feel like someone playing with GI Joe figures.
Just very talented
Totally.
martial arts GI Joe figures.
Yeah.
But it's like a kid's cartoon. It's the same thing every episode, just slightly different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
It's formulaic.
You're starting to get it now, Joe.
I
You're
got
starting
it
to get it.
originally,
You watch 'em.
Noah. I
Joe,
just don't think
Joe.
that means it's good.
Joe, you got to
And
watch
whip
it again.
kicks,
You got to watch it again.
like every time somebody gets punched,
Oh, love a good whip kick.
just
Yeah.
over and over again.
The only thing I love more than that sound
The sound
effect is that
effects.
sexy saxophone. Whew.
Oh man, and they're just you know
Mm.
what you know how it's good jazz because it's improvised.
Yeah.
They're going.
I
There's got a
also-
guy.
Hey,
Just go for it, buddy.
watching this film, because I did my research stuff afterwards. Watching this film, I was like, man, this really shows that it's a B movie. They couldn't afford like a score. They just had like this one like royalty-free track. No, this is a fucking commissioned score that happened in post-production because the original was bad. Like,
Joe,
what?
what else would you suggest they do?
No sound.
The Sistine Chapel was
If they
a
had, if,
commission
let's say
too.
this full, let's say this full, let's say this full score was 3 minutes long. At least make this back half a bit different, so you could like layer in different things. Like it's just the same.
So,
the
are you
same
honestly
section
recommending
over and
changes
over.
to this movie? Are you saying that it should be different? I can't believe that you would say that. I wouldn't change it one iota.
I can't think of anything that would make it better.
There we go.
Like we suggested for Naked Fear, like cut down the
Sure.
scenes just a bit. What would you suggest, Joe?
Yeah,
If I,
Different
could,
plot?
if I could change one
That's all
thing
right.
about this movie, just one thing, if I could change it to make it better, is what you're asking me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would. Honestly, I would make it that it's not so much ADR. I think I would enjoy it more if it was less ADR.
I think the voices that like maybe they should
Listen, we don't have to
Right,
agree with
that's
Joe. We already don't agree
No,
with
that's
Joe.
true. That's
Qu-
true.
I
Does
I
anybody
won't-
want to say it? It hasn't
Listen.
been said yet this episode.
Shut up, Joe.
No,
I
no,
don't-
you're in. Okay. So you're
I
entitled to
have.
your
It's been
opinion, Joe.
6 years. I didn't get invited to the wedding.
I didn't
Ditto.
know you
I'm not bitter
wanted to
about that.
come, Mike. I'm sorry.
I love.
You knew I wanted to come. I don't want to knob slob this movie any more than I already have, but I will say this. When I turned on Kill Squad, I was genuinely embarrassed for having submitted Naked Fear. I felt just completely outclassed and outdone in the B movie area, and I'm like, man, I failed the guys.
This one's just like slightly below A, in my opinion. Like if it had a bit of a bigger budget, if you didn't do anything different except for give it like a slightly bigger budget, maybe add in like a song or two, if that's the biggest deal on the planet. Like I think this movie could have passed as something that like an A tier movie.
I
That-
think it would have been.
Anti-Reagan movie, as we've discovered.
Has anyone seen Reagan 2024?
I will never watch that.
I went to see it in the theater.
Oh,
Man, I don't know what that is. I don't know.
it's like
It's a
It-
Ronald Reagan biopic starring Dennis Quaid.
yes,
They
which I
don't give him
believe-
any makeup. It's just Dennis Quaid being like,
and I
well,
believe he
I'm Ronald
funded a lot
Reagan.
of it too. Which, if you know anything about Dennis Quaid's politics, it's exactly what you're
it's
expecting.
pure
Oh.
propaganda. There is not a single thing that is critical about Reagan in it. It's
well,
it's-
what are we going to be critical about Reagan for? Whoa.
I know, right? America's perfect president. Oh, I highly
America's
recommend
Perfect
that.
Princess. I want to skank on his grave.
Nah. Oh,
That's the first time Spotify is going to auto-generate the word skank in one of our transcripts.
It's a Scott
and
thing,
it won't be
right?
the last.
Sorry?
Me or him.
You.
It's a ska thing.
Yeah,
It's how you dance to ska.
yeah.
Ah.
It's
Nothing
like a lot
gotcha.
of
Gotcha. I was
flailing
very
limbs.
confused.
If you have me on again, we'll talk about ska.
We'll talk about
Yeah.
ska.
I'm sure
Are there
no one
ska
wants to hear
movies,
that.
Mike?
I would, and Mike. I am a huge fan of ska,
I'm a very
as
big
as
ska
y-
fan.
I believe you're also aware.
Not ska.
To answer
I-
Joe's question, I just need to. Is Real Big? Wait, yeah, Real Big Fish isn't a movie. They do the soundtrack for fucking Basketball.
That's true. They did do the basketball soundtrack.
Do
So
they? But
that's
is
a
there
ska-
is there a B movie about ska music? Because if there is, Mike, that can be your pick
if
for the
there
next one.
is if there is that, like, any movie about ska is a B movie.
Yes. Even if it's 100% genuine and the top budget.
Ska is fun. Give it a chance.
Ska is fun. Yeah.
I don't know how
exactly.
we devolved into talking about ska, but
Well, Joe, to sum
coming
up,
back.
yeah, it is coming back. To sum up ska like quickly, it's like punk music if it was mixed with reggae.
What
Yeah,
is
I've
this
heard some
podcast?
ska before. Like I've heard some ska.
Uh,
It's just
whites
very
love
jarring
ska.
when you hear it.
Yeah. Oh,
Say
absolutely.
whites?
Whites love ska.
They do.
Ugh. Alrighty. Does anybody have anything else they want to add about any of these three movies before we start to wrap up here?
I just want to get everyone's ranking. I want to get like a boom, boom, boom. I know we've been giving ratings throughout, but
Yeah.
just
General synopsis.
Yeah.
I won't put Jennifer's Body on my ranking because it's not fair. I've already acknowledged that. But so I'll say I think Naked Fear is better than Kill Squad.
I'll go Kill Squad, Jennifer's Body, Naked Fear. And I gotta be honest, I went into watching these movies thinking that they were going to be other dog shit and that I was just not going to enjoy this at all. And I thoroughly enjoyed all three. So it's a very positive ranking for all of them.
nice.
My lowest ranking, like if I was gonna do like an out of 10, like I think my lowest is Jennifer's Body. No offense, it's just kind of
It's fair. It's fair.
mid as fuck was my note. Then like so from top to bottom, obviously, Kill Squad, 10 out of 10 for me, non-sarcastic, 10 out of 10. Stupid as fuck. Naked Fear drags on a little bit, but 6 out of 10. And then Jennifer's Body, 5 out of 5. Or 5 out of 10. No.
5 out of 5.
Not good. Not good. I deny that.
Adam,
Hello.
I think you have the same ranking as Mike, but do you want to go through?
So I would so Kill Squad, right? Naked Fear, somewhere imperceptible, Jennifer's Body.
No, that's really the opposite of that A+ talk that you were talking about.
No, wait. Oh, shoot, my bad.
Fuck
I
Kill
thought we were going worst at the top and then best at the bottom.
Alrighty. Well, Adam and Mike, I have to say, it was an absolute pleasure to have you guys on for this episode.
Fantastic.
Like, I have enjoyed this thoroughly in this conversation. You both have an open invitation to come back whenever you want, if Noah's also okay with it.
I'll
Oh,
come back every week.
absolutely.
I want to be the fourth person here.
Well, we're doing quarterly episodes right now because we're on hiatus because we're all across the country in 3 different time zones. But you can come back, Mike.
I'm flexible. You know, I work.
You've
the
said
same
that to
schedule.
me before, but not about time.
Bathroom
Ooh.
stalls and whatnot.
But yeah, no, you can both, of course, come back. You'll be welcome back. This is also, we didn't talk about it in the intro, but this is our 50th episode of TFCC, not including bonus episodes. And like for our topic episodes, this is our 50th episode.
Nice.
So it was great to have you both on. I do legitimately want to do this follow-up episode now. So yeah, I actually
You gotta
beg
track
both of
down
you
Governor
and
Gabby.
someone find a stream of Governor Gabby.
Justin Wang, man, he finds that shit on YouTube. He
I
has a
don't
bit,
know
he
who
has a-
Justin Wang is.
I will tell you about him later because I'm not going to give free plugs on your podcast.
No, you are literally. I'm about to throw to each of you to plug whatever you want. Like y'all get to plug whatever you want on this
You have the
podcast.
plug.
You can plug your bar if you want, Mike, or you can plug nothing.
I gotta pay for
You
that.
stream on Twitch,
That's
plug that.
toxic, bro. I don't do any of that. Hold on, 1 sec. I got to plug.
Okay. He's gonna go get something to plug. Adam, what do you have anything you want to plug? I know you've got a few online personas.
Oh,
This is River.
I love
This
I
is my
love
son.
River.
I'm gonna
Does
plug
River
my
the
son.
cat have an Instagram people can follow?
No.
Okay. Watch the video version if you want to see Mike's cat, River.
He's a
Hey,
little,
Aw.
River's adorable.
he's got no
Such a good
brains.
cat.
No, she's orange. I also
Orange
have an
cat.
orange boy. Oliver he's not allowed in the room because he gets into it. But yes,
Same. He's dumb.
fantastic. Yeah, yeah.
I also have a black one running around somewhere, but she cannot be seen and will not be touched. So plug away, Adam.
That's what Mike has to plug. Adam, what would you like to plug?
I know this like creepy lunatic on Letterboxd called what's the bitch's name? Ditzy Rumsfeld. That's Ditzzy space Rumfelds. I might have missed the S in there. Point is, Ditzy Rumsfeld on Letterboxd is just like this cretinous wretch that I find to be just loathsome in all ways. That's it.
Yeah, you can follow Ditzy. I do follow Ditzy, and I believe I read one of her reviews earlier, parts of it for Jennifer's Body. So you can go check out Ditzy on Letterboxd.
Yeah, and Mike, make a Letterboxd account. We need your hot takes.
I don't have hot takes.
Wait.
I got lukewarm takes.
No, oh come on! You recommended Kill Squad. That's, I mean,
Red Letter Media fanboy.
fair enough. Noah, do you have a Letterboxd?
I will talk my shit though.
Mike will talk his shit. That's true.
Okay.
I think Adam's TFCC crush is no longer Noah, and it's now Mike after today.
That's beautiful. I'm glad we could bring people together.
Trying to find.
You are still very handsome, though, Noah. We do still love you.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm also pretty handsome. Thank you.
Mike's also handsome.
Everybody here is very handsome. There we go.
Okay.
Well, we didn't say you.
Well, if you had to rank us like the movies,
I've actually ranked my friends before as a joke. It was a complete and total bit, but people got mad at the bit, so I'm not ranking my friends. I'm not doing it again.
Joe, you couldn't torture that information out of me, and you just offered it for free on a podcast you produce.
Once again, it was a bit. None of it was serious. I was doing
It's a
a
joke,
bit.
guys.
There was a whole previous like joke about cults and stuff. There was a whole runner to this. Okay, like
that hole's getting deeper, buddy.
thanks.
Would you like
Out
me
of
to
context. Yes, Noah. What would you like to plug? Where can people find you besides emailing you at shepherdnoah13@gmail.com?
No, you cannot. You cannot do that. Yeah, I guess I'm not really that active on social media anymore. I got laid off from the radio station, so you can't hear me there anymore. I now work an office job, so my whole goal is to be invisible there. So yeah, I guess just if you're in Newfoundland, keep an eye out for my theater work. I typically plug on Facebook, so there's only 100 people listening to this. If you guys want to listen, if you guys want to add me on Facebook, go ahead. As well, you can find me on Instagram at Sheprect. You can follow me on Twitter, but I don't tweet because Twitter's for white nationalists now. But unfortunately, I get too many sports schedules and wrestling news from there, so I'm not quite ready to make the transition away. So yeah, there you go. You got Shepherd Noah 14 on Twitter if you're willing to subject yourself to that.
when I first met you,
Am I supposed to not be tweeting anymore? Is that like a thing now?
No.
No, you can tweet it. It's fine.
Okay.
It's just most of what's left is garbage.
Because I was tweeting about Thomas Lennon the other day.
Yeah, you're fine. You can tweet about Thomas Lennon if you want.
Shout out Thomas Lennon, one of my favorite screenwriters.
When I met Noah, his Instagram was Dick Earthquake.
That's right. Dr. Dick Earthquake.
Dr. Dick Earthquake. I was actually literally about to ask Noah, since you're no longer with the radio, are you going to change your Instagram handle back?
No, because I'm on a temp contract, so like I probably gotta get hired again soon. So like I'm gonna keep it low key for a bit. Yeah, maybe that's the way to do
I have
it.
a job, and my borderline naked pictures are still on my Instagram. Like
That's true. That's true.
Noah's nude shoot is on his Instagram.
Yeah, but that's like classy. Well, Mike's.
They're both really classy, guys. Come on,
true.
let's not split hairs here.
One's a photo shoot, one's a guy in a bathroom with a vape cloud covering his nudity. Yeah, man, it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, my butt's still there. I was a lot skinnier then. So like if you guys want to see my skin, the butt's not skinny, it's actually pretty good. But yeah, you guys can check out my Instagram for my nude photo shoot. It's all tasteful.
I'm sorry,
my wife did say to me a few months before our wedding, Noah, Katie looked at me and she's like, Noah's the only one of our friends that I've actually like seen like a nude part of them. I've seen Noah's butt. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure same for me because and Mike's. Yeah.
Yeah, risk.
And just on your balcony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
to make somebody pissed off, or piss somebody off because they were complaining, it's a wind chill, don't go outside without a coat. And I'm just like, oh, I'm naked.
I don't think Blythe ever hung out with us again, which I'm totally fine with. I heard that white lady say the N-word.
Like, a lot.
Like a lot.
We're
So
just
I'm good
publicly
if I'm
calling someone out on the podcast
They didn't
now.
say their
Okay.
name.
You
Yes,
can beep
no
it
one
if you
did.
want.
Last name.
You can beep it if you want.
I'm not going to bleep anything, guys. I put minimal effort into the editing of this podcast now.
Yeah, but like, how much effort is it to go like put a fart sound for all
Yeah.
sure.
Maybe just like cut it out if you're worried. I'm not worried.
I'm not worried. No.
I'm
And
not
I'm
worried.
her address is
Like just doxes. I'd be more scared that you knew her address.
I know everyone's address.
And with that, I'll go ahead with mine. If you're looking to, I make comic book content on TikTok at Who Killed the Peacemaker, and I repost it on Instagram at Who Killed the Peacemaker. As I also mentioned, I'm on a new marketing podcast, Live at the Hive, digital marketing from the trenches, and you can find me on Instagram at the one and only JDV. But more importantly, what if you want to see more of the show, right? Like Noah, we have a great time on this show.
We do.
We have some great key moments such as Shut Up Joe,
Yeah.
Knuckles the Enchilada. Like we have so many
That's
great
right.
key moments for the show. So if you're looking to keep up with the show, you can follow us. We are on Twitter at 21st Century Cinema. We're on Twitter at TFCC Podcast, Instagram at 21st Century Cinema, or you can use either of those to find us on Facebook. They're both set up with Facebook. It's cool you can set up two different names with Facebook. Wish you could do that in other places. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcast. We got a video version up on YouTube. Wherever you listen to, please like or rate 5 stars. Goes a long way, really helps out the show. And always, if you want to get in touch, feel free to DM us on any social platform, or you can email the show. Our official email is shepherdnoah13@gmail.com. We're taking all questions, requests there. And Noah, where can everybody find all of this information we just talked about, except for Mike's cat?
Oh, you hyperlink and you talk about it as if it's a feature that like hasn't been around for like 20 years.
I'm just trying to make the promotion more exciting.
That's really
If
funny.
you wanna go
You
back
guys
and
have never
listen-
heard it. That's really he's
If you
really
wanna-
proud of it in the early days.
If you want to go back and listen to some other really great episodes, our most popular episode is our summer blockbuster episode from last summer that we did. That was a lot of fun with Dan Nadelko. Recently, Jamie and I sat down with Ezra Branderhorst, an actual therapist, and asked what is wrong with Joe and why does Joe hate things. And he did give an honest answer. So you can go ahead and listen to that. And
therapist on?
you didn't come on the last episode about Disney,
No, I
but we went
didn't.
into that.
I think I got busy with something.
Yeah,
what was
you
I busy
did.
with?
Probably the
Was I
theater or
sick? I
something.
can't remember.
No, you had a last minute rehearsal thing come up or something
That's
like that.
right. That's
Yeah.
right.
But no, we asked the therapist, what's wrong with Joe? We got a legitimate answer. Go listen to that.
What
Or
was
we
it?
have
No, I wanted to
no,
recap.
Yeah, make them
you have to go listen. I'm not saying it on here. You have to go listen.
We're
When we
wheeling
stop
them in here.
rolling,
What are you doing?
when we stop rolling, I'll tell you, but I'm not going to tell people that haven't listened to the episode.
Just setting the bait here. They gotta go listen to the other one, man. Why am I telling you this?
I was brought on for color.
Yeah, you were brought on. You were brought on for a few reasons. I don't even know where the fuck I was. Oh yeah, if you want to listen to some more stuff with Adam, we've had Adam on our DCU episode, which is a 2-parter because it was 3 hours long. We've had Adam on our Star Wars episode, which was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
And Adam also featured on the I think 3rd or 4th most listened to episode, Noah versus Noah, where Noah Shepherd took on Noah Shaford and who was the best Noah. And Adam did also guest star on that.
One.
There's no shepherd.
I have
Spoiler.
no memory of that.
Oh,
You have
thanks.
no memory of this?
Really?
You then got very mad at me because I cut out like 10 minutes of you.
Oh yes. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I cut 10 minutes of you on that, and I cut 10 minutes of you from the Star Wars episode, and you complained on both about me cutting you.
Yeah.
Edits happen, Adam. I'm sorry, but there is a bunch of Adam on our cutting room floor.
That's okay.
I won't be cutting anything from this, though. I promise.
No. You'll please cut as needed.
I'm
you
not
know.
cutting
I
anything.
respect
Adam.
the process. If stuff has to, can't keep it all. Like
But-
this long-winded part
This
about
very
the
long-
importance of cutting things.
Adam and Mike, as I said, you both have an open invitation to come back. We hope you guys come back. We'll love to have you both back on, either together or separately, or in some other panel format with other people. And look out for us. Also, we'll be doing an end of the year episode to cap off this year as we go into the new year, where 21st Century Cinema will have 2 episodes in 2025 in the first half between January and June. And then in the fall, we'll take our summer hiatus. And in the fall, we will be back to monthly episodes. So we're less than a year away from coming back monthly and finishing off season 5.
Cool.
Nice.
All right. Thank you all so much for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.